recreating expensive looking outfit ideas from the high street.
And as a bit of a Brucey bonus, the majority of the brands that I'm going to be featuring today are actually in the Black Friday sales too. Now you might be feeling like me a little bit overwhelmed this week with the volume of choice and offers that are out there. So today I really wanted to just slow it all down, get cozy comfy, and in all honesty just share some beautiful pieces that I've found that you might like too. So let me get snuggled in. As you can see, I have not really dressed up today. I'm in my cozy comfy tracksuit. Let's begin. So let's start with BOUCLE jackets, as they are a great way to add a touch of luxe into any outfit idea. And if you're thinking of building a really timeless and quite classic wardrobe, this is a great place to start. So this is one that you might have seen I got recently. It's from a really beautiful independent Parisian brand. I think it's an absolutely stunning version of the trend. It's made from a recycled tweed. You've got those gold buttons down the front, and the shape as well just felt a little bit something different. So first up, across the high street, I would suggest having a look at Mango. They do some really great versions of this particular trend that are always very affordable, but of course with a bit of Black Friday discount it can go a long way. So thinking of a dupe for my particular BOUCLE jacket, I've gone with this lovely cream version. I really like the detail that you've got those matching buttons in the same fabric, you've got that 4 pocket design, and then obviously keeping their prices under that £100 mark I think it makes it so much more affordable. If however Mango isn't for you, I did of course have a little bit of a shop around to find all the other beautiful tweed style and BOUCLE jackets that are about at the moment and in the Black Friday sales. So I have added these on the screen as I'm waffling away, and I shall add them in the description box below. So next up, let's talk knitwear, and of course having a couple of go-to beautiful pieces that you can reach for on any given day is essential for our wardrobes. So I've picked out this beautiful pure cashmere jumper in the stripes that I got from Jenny Kane. Now I think the very nature of stripes obviously does feel a little bit Parisian. It's very hard for it not to, but it also makes a really nice way to introduce quite a subtle print, but a good focal point within your outfit ideas just by having stripes within it. And to be honest as well, I think stripes is probably one of the only prints I seem to wear on repeat, so it's definitely a favorite for me. So I've been scouring the high street and I would say this is one of my favorites that I found. Obviously it's not the soft brown tones, but this is more of a classic black and white Breton style jumper. At its full price it was retailing under £100, and though I'm trying to be psychic throughout this video and imagine what price it's going to be in Black Friday, I think this one will have a really healthy discount. Now if stripes aren't for you and you fancy just something a little bit different, I did find this really nice option from an independent brand actually. Now they are a tiny bit more expensive and I don't know if they'll go into Black Friday sales, but if they do, I thought this was a really original way to add a little bit of print into your own outfit ideas. Just a quick mention, if you're enjoying this video and my little chit chat, it'd be really lovely if you'd like to subscribe. I have added a link to be able to do that in the description box below. So let's move on to one of my favorite pair of trousers, which I think actually look a lot more expensive than they were, which would be this beautiful pair in this ice blue tone. I've really found that pastels are becoming quite a statement for me in my capsule wardrobe this winter, but with very good reasoning, because they just tend to break up all those darker neutrals that I already have in my wardrobe, and they just add a touch of colour but in a really subtle way that feels very much like my own personal style really. Now if you're worried that these lighter tones could feel a little bit too boring or make you feel a bit washed out, then I would say have a little experiment with both structure and texture, as they can both give off really different looks. Sharper structured fabrics can give off a level of sophistication, whilst on the flip side silky fabrics can give off a really romantic feel. Across the high street I think COS are doing a really great selection of pastels at the moment, not just with trousers actually, but with a few different items that caught my eye. In particular though, I found this lovely pair of lilac trousers, which again have got a high waist, but it's a little bit looser looking. It doesn't look like it's going to be too tight or unforgiving, but then you've still got that really nice pleat down the front, and then obviously quite a wide leg, which is really on trend as well. Quality to price ratio is always really good. I think they're a beautiful brand actually that I buy quite a lot from, as you probably gathered. Not sure if they're going into Black Friday, but fingers crossed.
Oh Mandy, look, he's part of the set. Can you see him in the shot? He's kind of blending in with the handbag.
So let's have a little look at jeans, shall we? And I've put, oh, I couldn't have put it further away from me, could I? I've put this lovely pair of jeans on my rail. These ones are from Anina Bing, and for the life of me, I still cannot find another pair of these. They've gone out of stock, sadly. They're called the Genie Jean, I think, and I wanted to buy them in blue. But anyway, they are a beautiful pair of jeans, really nice shape. They seem to look good no matter what kind of shoes I put with them. They're just a great fitting pair of jeans. But across Across the high street, actually, I found a really great dupe in And Other Stories that I often recommend in the description box. Another really good option would be to have a look at River Island. I don't know if you saw my video recently that I did a few weeks ago now, where I featured a lot of their different pairs of jeans and the different fits that they do. That would definitely be one I would say to have a look at. I'll put some pictures on screen of my favorite pairs. They've definitely got a black wash, which will do a similar kind of straight leg look to this one. Now, thinking of expensive looking items I have in my wardrobe, even though this was a bit of an investment piece in the beginning, I do also think it looks even more expensive than it actually was. Obviously, bows are particularly on trend this season, and a really easy way actually to just kind of update your look, either by adding a bow or by going for one of these bow blouses instead. And you might have seen over on Instagram as well, I did a little reel about the many different ways you could style a bow, because they're far more versatile than you might first think in terms of how you could wear these straps that fall down or tie them in a bow and blah, blah, blah. So let me show you now the pieces I found across the high street, which are either polka dots or perhaps got a bow detail on them, just a similar kind of blouse to replicate the look. So if you do particularly like the bow tie at the neckline, I found this gorgeous one. Although it's in plain black, I thought those sleeves and the detail around the cuffs there was really nice and added a point of difference to it. The other option I found wasn't actually a bow tie on the neckline. You'll have to add a bow in your hair instead. Get creative with that one. But it was a really good version of the polka dot that I thought was really beautiful actually. And I know from previous years they do always tend to have really good Black Friday sales, so definitely one to have a look at. So let's move on to skirts, which you might have noticed I've developed a little bit of a love for this autumn winter, and I have this beautiful long satin version that I went for in black. In actual fact, I've got this in the taupe as well, and I'm finding them so versatile for my outfit ideas. I've worn them both quite a lot actually. One of my favorite ways to style both of these would be with an item of knitwear, and a nice idea to retain your shape and feel like you've given yourself a bit of an hourglass figure is to just add a belt over the top of your knitwear. That's just a really simple, easy way to change the overall silhouette and stay cozy and warm at the same time. So I found this lovely, expensive looking dupe across the high street from good old M&S. We all love M&S, don't we? They have some really great pieces, and actually at the moment they're particularly good for their belly flats, so definitely worth a peek after this. But this version, although it's coming up slightly shorter than my long version, I thought was a really great option, mainly because of that price, because even at full price it was retailing at £35. Not sure about the lime green option that they've got available there, but they do also have it in brown, which I thought would be a nice alternative if black isn't for you. So let's have a look now at probably my most worn coat ever. As you'll have seen many times on both YouTube and on Instagram, my beautiful long camel coat that I got from COS, which I have to say is finally back in stock. I know lots of you tried to get hold of this one and it was out of stock for ages, and it's finally come back in. It isn't exactly the same tone. They actually describe it as a rich copper, but it's equally beautiful. I think it's a lovely coat, and proof is in the pudding. You know I wear this one so very much, so it was a great buy for me. So having a look across the high street stores for an even more affordable option, I found this lovely one that's made from a wool blend. So you're not going to get the same quality obviously, but it is a really nice version of the trend. I thought I would probably advise going a size up from your usual just to really get that snuggly wrap over kind of shape, but at the same time it's still got quite a tailored shape, so it's going to work nicely for the office if you want that quite sophisticated look. Now, because I am a little bit obsessed with camel coats, it's probably my favorite thing to have a little browse at, I have found quite a few options on this one, and rather than waffle for England on here, I've linked all my favorites in the description box below. So thinking about blazers, which you know I am particularly obsessed with, I do love a good blazer, I've picked out this one in the navy with the gold buttons, as I think this does look a lot more expensive than it actually was. I've talked about this quite a lot recently, so I won't bore you by waffling on about it. Let me just show you the dupes. So across the high street, I found this really good dupe, which is almost identical. In fact, the only difference I could see with this one was the fabric, which looked like a bit more of a textured weave to it somehow. You've got those same gold buttons, you've got that boxy shape, it's double-breasted. It definitely fits the bill if that is more your price point. Now, as we know, blazers never really go out of fashion, so I would say this is where I would probably save a good portion of my budget to invest in the nicest quality I can afford. But on top of that, I would also make sure that I buy one that really suits my body shape, because I want it to last. I want to be able to wear it with all my different outfit ideas. So for instance, if you're quite broad in the shoulders, perhaps a boxy fit isn't quite for you. I would look at going for something a little bit more slim fitting. One style tip I would mention, however, is to make sure that you're not just so lured by Black Friday sales that you go, yep, that's a lovely blazer, I'll buy that. Really try and think about your own body shape and what will suit you best. So it might not be quite a boxy looking blazer, it might be more of a slim fit. And I'll link a few of my favorites that I found for different body shapes in the description box below too. But really do think about what suits you, not just what suits me, when choosing something like a blazer, because inevitably you want it to last as long as possible. So let's head back to knitwear and to definitely a most worn piece for me, and one of my most loved, I would say as well. I have this now in 4 different colors, I think, because I'm slightly obsessed with it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful cardigan. So I love having that texture in my wardrobe. It's something a little bit different. It's a teeny tiny bit sexy. It sometimes falls off the shoulder. You've got that deep V-neck. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it's just a great cardigan that I use an awful lot throughout autumn, winter, every year. One style tip I did want to mention, however, when you're choosing your own cardigans is, particularly for winter, just make sure that it's not too slouchy or too oversized, that it's not going to layer under, say, your favorite coats, because you don't want it to end up feeling really, really bulky. I personally like it to feel a little bit oversized, but not too much the other way, so that it sits really streamlined underneath my layers. So in terms of expensive looking dupes across the high street, you are quite spoilt for choice, because I found so many different options of ways you could tick this trend in different fabric compositions too. If perhaps you can't wear something so fluffy and you want something just made from cotton, or you like merino, lots and lots of different options about there at the moment from all different price points, which won't blow the budget. And that is just about everything I have to share with you all today. Really hope you found this video helpful, and you've seen that you can equally shop those luxury, expensive looking styles across the high street too, especially with the help of the fashion trends at the moment, with quiet luxury and those classic pieces that we're seeing all over the high street at the minute. We're looking for those high quality pieces with those timeless designs without, most importantly, blowing the budget. Don't forget, if you're not already, it would be really lovely and wholeheartedly appreciated if you'd like to subscribe, and if you can spare a moment to give this video a thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated too. I am going to go tidy up my living room because I've turned it into my own personal wardrobe, and I shall be back on Sunday with lots more outfit ideas and styling tips, so hopefully I will see you then. Take care.